Hey guys, this is Lawrence from Cosplay, and today I'm showing you guys how I made this Gummiphone.
Okay, let's get started. So I have two versions of the Gummiphone on my shop. The pattern you find on my shop will only be for the prop, not the phone case, and the instructions there are pretty self-explanatory. But for this video, I'll show you guys how I made the custom phone case for my girlfriend's S9. These are all the pieces that come with the Gummiphone kit. Now let's get started. Of course, my usual tools: chip brush, utility knife, and a Sharpie. You might need the spray adhesive, but for sure, we're using the contact cement. And of course, your heat gun to heat seal the foam. To start off, I'm going to use a piece of wood. The purpose of this is to keep my cutting mat clean. I'm going to start the Gummiphone build with this back piece right here. Next, I'm going to heat seal the foam with a heat gun. The next thing I'm going to do is grab the 8mm piece, which will be the center of the foam case. So I'm going to carefully line up the outer edges, like so. Once I'm happy with the position, I'll pin it down with some needles. I'll do the same thing for the other side as well. The important part of this step is to line up the edges of the foam, as you can see here. Once you're happy with the position, mark the inside of the foam with a Sharpie. You should have something like this. This is going to help us determine where to apply the contact cement. Make sure you use a respirator when applying your contact cement. Make sure the lid is tight and give your contact cement a good shake. Apply the contact cement to the outer region of the foam. We're going to do the same thing to the other piece of foam as well. For this foam piece, make sure you don't put contact cement on these overhang pieces. Here I'm applying a second coat just to make sure I have a secure bond. So while those pieces are drying, I'm going to get started with the front pieces. The small detail is going to sit in front of this piece like so. Don't forget to heat seal your foam before applying the contact cement. The laser kit will come with the details etched in. Make sure you apply contact cement to only the assigned region. Once you're done with that, the first two pieces should be ready to be put together. Carefully line up the edges and stack the foam as best you can. Firmly press down on the two pieces like so. Once that's done, these two front pieces should be ready to be put together. Using the details etched in, stack the foam pieces up and attach it like so. And of course, for this circular piece, make sure it's centered and positioned on top of the Mickey. Once that's done, that front piece should look something like this. Now this top piece is going to lay on top of the other piece like this. Heat seal your foam and then apply your contact cement. Oh yes, for this part I forgot to put the position of the black foam piece, so make sure you just get the edges and not the actual Mickey. Let that dry for about a minute. Once it's tacky, you're ready to put them together. Just like before, we're going to line up the edges and then stack the two foam pieces. Watch out for the other end sticking. You want to work on one edge at a time. And that's it. 3-layer foam sandwiched together to make this first bottom case. Now I hope that first part wasn't too hard to follow, because we're going to do the same thing for the top piece. It's the same deal as before. We're going to mark the position, apply the contact cement, and then stick the pieces of foam together. So while the contact cement is drying for that piece, I'm going to start on the back piece. This back piece is where most people have the personalization. I'm going to apply contact cement to the back of the phone case like so. The position of this detail is also etched in to make it easy for your assembly. So while those back pieces dry, we're going to come back to the top piece and stick them together. Once you have the first two pieces on, apply contact cement to the other side of the foam. So let those pieces dry, and let's go back to the back pieces. They should be ready to be put together. Once again, carefully line up the edges and then stack the foam together. Now it should look something like that, very similar to the front. Okay, now let's finish that top piece we were working on. Now it's done. Keep in mind the front facing camera. Okay, so after all that trouble, let's see if it works out. Alright, would you look at that? It fits. Pretty snug as well. Alright, just like my design, to take off the case, you pull it off like so. Alright, so the last thing we need to do is put on the crown pieces. Alright, let's take care of that. Same deal as before, heat seal it, apply your contact cement, let it dry, and then put the pieces together. I'm going to stack them by lining up the edges of this piece with the edge detail right there. Next, we'll wrap the edges around like this. To create an even crease, I'm going to slightly score a line along the edges like so. And then I'm going to apply my contact cement to the edges, and of course, this side of the edge as well. So meanwhile that's drying, I'm going to apply contact cement to this part of the crown all around to here. Let that background piece dry and finish wrapping up the front piece. The edges of the foam should line up flush with the back piece. Do the same thing to the other side. Once the back crown pieces are dry, we'll attach it like so, following the edge detail. If you forgot to put contact cement on some region of the crown, don't worry, you can come back with some super glue. With all the crown details attached on, we finally have something that looks like a Gummiphone. The next thing we have to do is add on these front details of the crown pieces. According to my design, they should sit flush like so. Mark their positions and then apply the contact cement. Once they're dry, just like everything else in this build, carefully line up the edges and then stack them together. Alright, we're almost done here. The last thing we need to do is put on this gear piece. And like everything else in this build, put put contact cement on both sides of the phone pieces, let them dry, and then put them together. Okay, and here's the moment of truth. Here's the S9. I'm going to slide it into the case. It might be a little sticky from the contact cement, depending on how you applied that earlier, but it fits, nice and snug. Alright, and now let's put on the top piece. Okay, that seems to fit nicely as well. And there you go, that's an S9 in a Gummiphone case. Now the front facing camera should be right there, and that's going to vary from phone to phone, and I've considered that in each of my Gummiphone cases. Now you should be able to wake up your phone through the touchscreen or through the Mickey. If at any time you want full access to your phone, you can always remove it, like so.
Okay, and that's it for this prop Gummiphone. I don't have the case with me right now. My girlfriend has it, so unfortunately I can't show you guys. I'm gonna answer one question that I've been getting a lot lately. That's, can you use a blow dryer instead of a heat gun? And the answer is no, because the blow dryer doesn't produce enough heat, and so you don't get that nice finish on the foam. But if you have any other questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments down below, and I'll read them. If you guys want to show me some love or just shoot me some video ideas, leave them in the comments down below. I'd love to read them. If you guys are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.